Let's get to the big story breakdown. While Washington's push to regulate crypto remains a work in progress, Trump has had an outsized impact on crypto this year. Despite the momentum, it is still unclear when the Senate will take its next formal step on crypto market structure legislation. Lawmakers are expected to consider two separate bills from the Senate Banking and Ag committees, but no markup hearings have been scheduled. With the legislative calendar tightening, time may be running out for meaningful progress this year. The Senate is moving closer to confirming Trump's fix to lead two powerful regulators, including the CFTC and the FDIC. Well, joining me live here at the New York Stock Exchange this morning is South Carolina Republican Representative William Timmons, who chairs the Military and Foreign Affairs Subcommittee and serves on the House Financial Services Committee. Great to have you here. Thank you so much for joining me here at the New York Stock Exchange.
Thanks for having me.
Well, 2025 has been quite the year for digital assets. So first and foremost, what work still needs to be done?
Well, we got to pass market structure, and the Senate's working on it. It's unfortunate that we shut down for 50 days, but we're going to get it done, I think, Q1. But the sooner the better. We got to make sure that the U.S. economy continues to be the center of the global economy. We can't do that without the appropriate legislative framework.
And speaking of which, you're here on Wall Street and you're heading back to the nation's capital. So when we think about what all of this means in terms of legislation for Main Street, walk us through this and why you think the next steps are so important.
Digital technology, blockchain, the future is coming and we need to embrace it. The more efficiencies we can create with technology, and the more we can make sure that the U.S. continues to lead, that's the future of the U.S. economy, and that's what will keep us strong for another generation or two.
And of course, viewers out there who might be wondering about portfolio allocation when it comes to crypto majors. In addition to that, why do you think digital assets as well as blockchain are so key moving forward?
It's just efficiencies. And technology is going to change our society, it's going to change the U.S. economy, and we have to embrace it. And the faster we can do that, the better off we'll be.
And of course, all of your work in Washington, D.C. Tell us a little bit more about what we can expect in 2026.
So after we pass market structure, we're going to be moving on to layering additional pieces of legislation on top of that. I have an NFT bill that I'm focusing on. I was hoping to get it in market structure, but it's not going to happen. So I think that's something that we can layer on top of it. Again, NFTs are just the icing on top of the cake, and I think that the more we can embrace digital assets and blockchain technology, the better off we're going to be.
And speaking of NFTs, I know that you changed your profile pic to the pudgy penguin. So tell us what that was all about.
NFTs are the future, and it's something I've been focusing on. We got 10,000 likes in a couple of hours, and we changed our profile picture for a few weeks. But we're back to this face, so it's good.
Well, speaking of which, as we head into the upcoming year, we're going to be keeping a close eye on what happens in the nation's capital. You mentioned the U.S. economy, and I know that viewers out there as well as retail investors are keeping a close eye on what comes out of D.C. But when you're thinking about Wall Street as well as Main Street, where do you think we are in terms of the economy, and what's important for people to keep in mind?
I think this year has been an important transition. The last administration was out of balance, and the American people spoke, and we have spent this past year rebalancing everything, whether it's trade agreements, whether it's working on reducing inflation, whether it is reducing regulations, permittings, getting our tax code in line, incentivizing foreign direct investment. All of these things are coming together, and I think Q1 of next year is going to just be an incredible opportunity for economic growth, and everyone's going to be a lot better off. All of these things work together, and they were designed to make sure that the U.S. economy is as strong as possible, and I think everything's going in the right direction.
And so whether we're talking about the economy or even investments, you mentioned a key word there, and that is opportunity. So where are you seeing opportunity for Americans right now?
Everything's moving in the right direction. Again, the last administration was very out of balance, and President Trump has been leading us to just make us competitive in the global economy. And the American dream is alive and well because of the American people speaking last election. And so we're going to continue to try to push things in the right direction. And listen, if you want to pursue the American dream, it is here. And all you have to do is work and do your best. And the opportunities are endless.
And of course, as we count the days until the end of 2025, 2026 is midterm election year. So what are you focused on, especially when it comes to South Carolina?
So making sure that everyone is better off in 8 months than they were 12 months ago. That's all this is. And we've been working very hard for this year. There's been some disruption, but there was necessary disruption because the last administration was so out of balance. So we are going to continue to work hard and right-size government. The role of government is not to control our lives. The role of government is to make sure that we have the opportunity to pursue the American dream. So that's where we're going to be, and I'm very optimistic for the midterms.
And speaking of which, as we head into the new year, this is the time of year that many investment houses issue their year-ahead outlook. And we're here in a historic building. We think about all the companies that are listed here at the New York Stock Exchange, all the blood and sweat that went into building these companies. So as we look ahead, what is your outlook for 2026 and beyond?
Again, the policies that we've been implementing work, and I'm hopeful and optimistic that we can continue to keep the government out of the way. I mean, permitting costs, regulation costs, energy prices, all of these things are the result of government policy, and if we right-size government, if we tailor regulation to appropriately balance consumer protections and opportunity, we're going to be much better off, and that's what we're focused on.
And finally, before I let you go, as we look ahead to January, there are concerns about the possibility of another U.S. government shutdown. So how likely do you think that is?
We have not done a good job at legislating. It's very unfortunate that we shut the government down for 50 days. Well, the Democrats shut the government down for 50 days. I hope that we can do our job and stay out of the way of the American people getting what they deserve. But at this point, there's a lot of theatrics, and the loudest voice in the room continues to be heard, and so I'm going to do everything I can to keep the government open and to do our job, but it takes colleagues across the aisle doing the same. So we'll see what happens, but I'm hopeful we can keep the government open.
Well, thank you so much for joining me here at the New York Stock Exchange. I appreciate your time, and thank you so much for sharing your perspective.
Thanks for having me.
My pleasure.